All right, guys, welcome back to chapter 3. We're doing the last organic compound, which is nucleic acids. Now, no one ever says nucleic acids, so you'll probably have to get used to that. We call them DNA and RNA. So, if it's okay with you, let's go ahead and jump right into it, and I'm going to try to make sure that we're all feeling pretty good. So, we have been doing this the whole week. So, if you haven't watched the other videos, watch the other videos so you can make sure that you are getting this just fine. Okay? So, what we've been doing is we've been forming a box where we've been trying to get information about each one of these guys. And the box we have been doing is we've been doing their shape, so you know what they look like. We've been doing their names, so you can kind of see what names they go by. Okay, we've been doing their functions, like why do they even matter? And the last one we've been doing is examples. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do nucleic acids. Okay, Na nucleic acids. So I'm just going to skip this. I'm going to go right to its shape. Okay, so here's a shape of nucleic acid. Now, I'm going to get a word up here, so don't freak out about it. When you take a blender and you put DNA into a blender, and you pull out the smallest block, that smallest block is called a nucleotide. And that's what we have here. This is a nucleotide. We did the same thing with protein. Do you remember what happened with protein? When we put protein in a blender, we pulled out the smallest piece, which was an amino acid. Okay, so everything has a small piece. So if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to keep saying nucleotide. And this is a picture of a nucleotide, so don't worry about that word too much. So let's look at this really quick. The first thing I want to do is I want to talk about this. Now, wait. I know this guy. I know what a ring shape is. I know that from my other videos. I know that most of the time they look like this, a six-sided ring, but sometimes they can be a five-sided ring, right? Just depends on what we're doing, and they always end in ose, okay? Darn right, that is a sugar. So what I'm telling you right now is a nucleotide is 1/3 sugar. Okay, so now let's go to this next one, switching my pen to blue. So if we look at blue, wait. This has nitrogen. I know what nitrogen is. Nitrogen means that's kind of like a protein. I remember what this guy is too. NH2 is an amino. Wait. I've already learned that guy too. This guy is a protein. So what you're telling me is that a nucleotide is also 1/3 protein. Yep. Now, this is not an amino acid, okay? This is a modified amino acid, and there are 4 of them. And I'm guessing you guys already recognize what 4 they are. They are A, C, G, and T. Those are the 4 base pairs of DNA. So now let's go to this last one, switching colors to red. Now, this is a huge flag for you to recognize this guy because he has P on it. We have not done P on the periodic table that much. P is phosphorus. And if P's with oxygens, like these guys, we call that a phosphate group. Now, when we do cells in chapter 4, you're going to see this guy a ton. I hope you guys recognize this. Whoop. Do you guys remember this from the lipid video? This is a fat. This is called glycerol. If you guys don't remember this, go back and watch that video. And these are fatty acids. And then we look to see if they're saturated or unsaturated, right? Well, what animals do and humans do is we take that fat and we change it. We rip off one of his legs, so then he only has 2 legs, and we add a phosphate group. And it looks like the funkiest mailbox you have ever seen. We always draw it like this, and we call it a phospholipid. So what I'm going to tell you is most of the time we're going to find this phospho. We find it in 1,000 different places, but we also find it a lot when we associate with our fats. So then I'm going to argue that nucleotides are also 1/3 fat. So the reason why you guys don't know DNA as well as you know the others is because we don't have to eat him. We definitely need to eat lipids. That's a must. We definitely need to eat sugars. That's a must. And we definitely need to eat protein, which is a must. But if I eat all 3 of these guys, then voila, I have what we call a nucleotide. So you need to know his shape. So now can we make this a little bit harder for you? If I show you something like this, nope, this, oh my goodness, that looks so difficult. So how about we do this as a team and just kind of look. Now, if you guys look at the word, this word shouldn't scare you too much. This word is polynucleotide. Poly is a midterm word for many, so I obviously have many nucleotides in here. Let's do it one at a time. I'm trying to remember my colors. Well, there's my phosphate group. I had him in red. There's my sugar. I had him in green. And then my nitrogenous base pair, A, C, G, or T, right there. So in black, that is one nucleotide. So in this black, that's another nucleotide. And then here's a third nucleotide. So we can call this guy a polynucleotide. Many nucleotides together. Okay? Most of the time we don't do this. Okay? Most of the time, it's all based off of whatever that green guy is. So can I give you guys some help? There's two sugars we use more than any other sugars. Let me write them down for you. See if you recognize them. We use a sugar called deoxyribose or just ribose. Now, you guys understand that we are doing nucleic acids. Does anyone see what we're doing yet? It depends on this sugar. So what should I call this if I use deoxyribose in my nucleic acids? Oh, we'll call that DNA. What if I switch the sugar to ribose? Well, then I sure as heck can't call it DNA anymore, so then I'm going to call it ribonucleic acid. The biggest difference between DNA and RNA is structurally. The base pairs change, the sugars change, but you can look whether it's DNA or an RNA based off the sugar that you see. Okay, so that is a nucleotide. So let's go back to my single picture. How are you guys feeling about a nucleotide? Are we feeling pretty good? So now here's the real question. Why do I even care about them? Because if we do our functions on everybody else, you guys got to remember, proteins were my structure, carbohydrates were my quickest energy, and lipids were my most energy. So why do I care about nucleotides or DNA or RNA? Can I show you what I want for Christmas? This is by far the dumbest thing ever, but it is so cool. I want it. Here you go. Take a peek. That's what I want for Christmas. I want a glow-in-the-dark mouse. Okay. Now, if you look at this one, if you hate mice, I'm sorry. 2, you should look at this and be like, okay, that's kind of weird. How in the world did they get glow-in-the-dark mice? Well, now you get to understand why DNA and RNA is so important. Okay. How in the world did they get glow-in-the-dark mice? Well, everything we are is protein. Okay. The reason why they don't glow is because we don't have a protein that can glow. But what we do have is we have my DNA genetic code. So let me go back to another picture that I haven't shown you yet. Okay. Now don't stress about this. Okay. What I need you to know is I need you to know the following. There's my DNA sequence. DNA is a series of letters. A, C, C, T, G, A, T, C, G. It's just a series of letters. But it codes. It codes. It codes. It codes. It codes. It codes for how to put proteins together. You guys know what an amino acid is. So what ends up happening is, let's go ahead and do a test run. Whoop. Insulin is a protein. How in the world did I know how to make them? Well, DNA told me how to. So what if I screw up my DNA? Well, then I'm not going to make insulin correctly, and there's a name for that. It's called diabetes. DNA is the master code. It's a code for every protein in your body. Now, I'll say that again. This is a guaranteed test question. DNA is a code for protein. DNA is a code for protein. DNA is a code for protein. So where do carbs and lipids come in? Carbs and lipids just give me the energy needed to take DNA and change it into protein. Now, if you guys look at this, we talked about this at the beginning. Shape equals function. Shape equals function. So look at this. This is a DNA sequence. This is the protein sequence it's changing into. But if you look, oh no, we screwed up a letter. Does it really matter if I screw up one letter of DNA? Well, I don't know. Let's find out. This is an amino acid. Amino acid. Amino acid. So this is a polypeptide. You guys okay with that word? It should be this amino acid. But what happens when I change the letter? Oh, crap, I changed the amino acid. Does it matter if I change the amino acid? Kind of. Let's see what happens if I just change one amino acid and only one. Oh man, that's called sickle cell anemia. That's kind of bad. So guys, here's the take-home message of DNA. What is it good for? Why do I care about it? What's its main function? And the key is it holds the code to every protein in my body. Okay? Okay, I got to end with one more thing because it's the end of chapter 3. Then you're ready for your USA exam. So I'd watch these multiple times if I was you. Okay? I got to go to this guy. Now, don't panic about this guy. You know who this guy is. Now, you maybe have never said adenosine triphosphate in your life, but you have, because this guy is ATP, or AKA powerhouse. Okay, this is how all energy is found. So can I go ahead and show you something really quick? Now, if I was here, okay, or if you were here, I would block this out and stand in front of it so you couldn't see it. So you're just going to have to kind of humor me. You know what this is. You know what this is. Check it out. This is ribose. That's a sugar. Okay, this is phosphate. You know that came from fat. Okay, and then here's blue. That's a protein. This has got to be my A, C, G, or T, and it tells you which one it is. Down here, it tells you it's the A, so that's nice. So right now, what you're looking at is you're looking at a nucleotide, right? You know what a nucleotide is. But the way the body works is we can soup up these nucleotides. We can engorge them with energy and make sure that they store energy for later. So then now let's take a peek at it. What happens if I take a nucleotide and I don't have one phosphate, but I put on a second, and by golly, I put on a third? Oh my goodness, that's a lot of phosphates. Remember, phosphate is phosphorus with oxygen. Okay, that's all I need you to know. Okay. So now let's write this. They're like, man, what should we call this when I have an adenosine with 3 phosphates? Well, how about we call it adenosine or adenine triphosphate? Oh, that's a good idea. Whenever you see adenine with 3 phosphates, we call that ATP. Now, the best way you guys can think about this is ATP is 100% energy. That's 100% energy. That's like when your cell phone gets unplugged in the morning and you're excited. So guess what happens if I need to do some work? I can break this bond, and then this phosphate can fall off. Well, if this phosphate falls off, I can no longer call it ATP because it doesn't have 3. So instead, we call it ADP. And I bet you can guess what the D stands for. D stands for di, which is 2 phosphates. Okay? And then guess what? I can break this bond to let energy given off. So remember, ADP, we're going to argue that's 50%. That's 50% of your cell phone. So there's still some energy in there. But, you know, your cell phone's gone through most of the day. It's lost half its energy. So it's getting lower and lower. So if I rip off this phosphate, well, I can't call this ADP anymore because it only has 1. So some textbooks call it AMP, which M stands for mono. And this is when your cell phone is at 20% and chirping at you that it's about to die because it's lowering on energy. Okay? That's AMP. AMP is exactly the same. Please be okay with this. Exactly the same thing as a nucleotide. Those are the same words. Okay? So guess what mitochondria does? This is what mitochondria does for its whole life. Okay? You always learn mitochondria is the powerhouse. He takes ADP, which can I draw him really quick? That means he has 2 phosphates, right? And he takes another phosphate, and guess what he's going to do? He's going to try to put these 2 together, and if he can, successfully, he's going to make the almighty ATP, which is A with 3 phosphates on it. But in order to do this, he's going to need energy. Good thing he eats. We use carbohydrates first, and we lose lipids second to make this possible. All right, guys, I know you guys are trying as hard as you can. I know this is not the prime situation, but I'm so proud of you for working so hard. Here's your module on nucleic acids. I hope these videos are helping you out. Please, please, please watch them as many times as you possibly can just so you get better and better and better. Okay, guys, I appreciate you. I'll see you on the flip side.